I'm going to start by saying the highest technique is relaxation. That is the technique, relaxation. What does that mean? Well, certainly when you do asanas and yoga, it's all about relaxation. You get your body into a position where there's a balance of stress and tension, and you relax into it. And if you've ever done that, you feel an energy change, you feel a chemical change. It changes you to relax past the point that you naturally would go, that you naturally would exist. Same thing happens with exercise of any sort, but specifically yoga, because it sets up this balance of tension and relaxation, and then you relax into it. And what you do is go past where you normally hang out. You're getting past your comfort zone, and all kinds of changes take place. So what your life is you drop down to the planet, and wherever you are, things are going on. Those things come in and you experience them. That's your life. You're experiencing what is unfolding in front of you at any given moment. That is what's happening, isn't it? Right? It's not complicated. You are in there and you're experiencing what is unfolding in the world around you on the planet Earth, the parts you see. At any given moment in your life, it's just what's happening at that moment that you're experiencing. Now, if I asked you, how difficult is that? How difficult is it to come down onto that planet? Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. The same thing's happening. What's happening? That's what's happening. Wherever you are at that particular point, that's what's happening. Your entire life is every moment there will be something else in front of you, right? It keeps changing. And you will experience what's in front of you. So there's nothing complicated about this, nothing hard about this. So what the deepest technique is, relax into that. And we're going to go there. I'm going to spend time with you on this. I want you to relax into that. What do you mean? If you are standing in a supermarket, then that's where you are at this particular moment in your life. And that's what you're experiencing. They miss the experience of being there. Whereas the experience of being there is your life. Because that's what you're experiencing, that's what's happening. So what you do is you go into Publix, because that's where you are, and at least for a moment, this is what I'm asking you, it's your technique, you go to that place and you relax. Go to what place? That you have dropped down onto that little tiny ball on the planet Earth, and you're experiencing what's in front of you. That's the technique I'm telling you. I am experiencing what's in front of you. I have no other job. There's nothing else going on. My entire job in this moment is to experience what's in front of me. And I'm telling you, you won't be able to do it. If you want to know the highest spiritual technique, I just gave it to you, is you practice being there, just being there. You practice wherever you are, you take a moment, and you see whether you can be there. And what you will find is that you can't. And then I want you to see why. And it won't take you long, because you're going to see, I'm here, I'm experiencing it, but there's something else here. There's static. There's the noise of my mind. It's worrying about things. It's thinking I look silly. It's being self-conscious. It's being embarrassed. It's being scared. That's what it's doing. You need to see that. You really, really need to see that. Why? Because you're going to find out that you can't experience your life when that's going on, because you're experiencing that. And that is what happens to our lives. It's the Grinch who stole Christmas. Your mind and your neurosis and your fear and your anxiety and all the noise of the personal self, you know what I mean by that? The you in there, has stolen your ability to experience this simple thing that's going on, which is what's in front of you. And because of that, we get really weird. Because I can't stand there and experience Publix, I'm instead experiencing my self-created neurosis. I'm worrying about things that happened years ago. I'm worrying about things that might happen later. I'm wondering whether I look silly, whether people like me, whether I should say something, or why did I say that? I'm just constantly creating disturbance in my life for myself instead of experiencing my life. So what you do is wherever you are, I don't care if you're driving your car, I don't care if you're stopped at a stop sign, I don't care if you're walking in Publix, I don't care if you're walking down the street. Wherever you are, be aware that I am in here and I'm experiencing what's around me. And then you'll see that there's all this noise inside. What do I do about that? The high being realizes that what I do about that every single time is relax. That's not what you're going to want to do, but you don't want to relax into the asana either. When it gets a little tight, you don't want to relax, you want to get up. But it is relaxing past that point that takes you deeper within yourself. It's the same thing here. So the technique of relaxation, which is going to take you a while to get it, but at least you're practicing with it, is to say wherever you are, bring consciousness to bear. That's what's meant by witness consciousness and mindfulness, is bring your center of consciousness back to the point of realizing, I am in here experiencing what's out there. How about I do it that simple? I am in here experiencing what's out there. So the wise person catches on that it is not the unfolding of the situation outside of you at any given moment that is causing your issues. Even if that changed, you'd still have issues. And so you realize this is a problem I am generating within myself. I am creating my neurosis. There's not a problem. You're just experiencing the reality of what is unfolding in front of you. You're driving down the road. Yet, inside, I am experiencing problems. Always. I'm experiencing fear, I'm experiencing anxiety, I'm experiencing self-conscious, I'm experiencing need, I'm experiencing embarrassment. You name it, you got it. Jealousy, I don't know, you name it. There's something going on there, all right? So it's not the outside that is causing that. That is a great breakthrough when you realize that. And I'm telling you, one way to realize it is just stop at any given moment and honestly look out there. What's out there? Nothing. There's some cars driving by. There's nothing happening. There's nothing. Okay? They're really at this moment. Yet inside, there's tension. Inside, there's disturbance. Inside, there's fear, need, whatever. Okay? There's disturbance inside. If the problem is not outside, the solution can't be outside. If it is true that 99.9% of the time, if you stopped and just looked at what was going on out there, there's no reason to be scared. There's nothing going on that is causing a major problem. And yet you're uncomfortable. Yet you're disturbed almost all the time. You are creating your disturbance yourself by what you are doing inside of you. Once you see that, the concept that what I should be doing is working to change everything outside of me so that I'm okay inside of me starts to look insane. The problem is not outside, so the solution can't be outside. And so what you end up doing if you're not careful is you're not okay, you feel scared, you feel left out, you feel embarrassed, whatever the heck it is. And so you try to create situations outside that for a moment override that. If you try to solve your inner problem that you are creating within yourself, we'll talk about that in a moment, how you do that. You're creating this problem inside even though nothing's happening outside. The best you can do is to spend your effort and your time to manipulate and control situations around you so they make you feel better for a moment, and then you have to keep doing it over and over again. There is work you need to do, but it is inside yourself. I'm in here, the world is unfolding out there, and I see there's this veil of disturbance. You come down to, what do I do about that? We already told you what's not going to work. So what's my alternative? The alternative, believe it or not, is to relax. What does that mean? What does it mean, relax? It means that you are doing something inside yourself that is causing this disturbance. Publix is not causing the disturbance. The cars driving on the road are not causing disturbance. Being out on the date is not causing the disturbance. But you're sure causing yourself a lot of disturbance about those things. So Instead, relax. That's the best I'm going to say, then I'll work down to detail with you. Instead of doing whatever you're doing that is creating all that disturbance in there, I'm asking you to relax. That's the alternative to letting yourself create all this disturbance. If the reason you're about to say something is to try to impress somebody, to try and make yourself look acceptable, who the heck knows, whatever it is, relax instead. Relax within yourself. And what you're going to see is that everything gets better. At first it's scary, because you'll realize that all these actions and things you were doing and all the noise the mind was making was like an attempt to protect yourself. It's almost as if something inside of you thinks you're under attack all the time, that you can't even be in the presence of a friend and feel comfortable, not to mention lovers or anybody or anything, and you just realize how scared you are. That's what you're going to see. And so you get to the point where you say, if I want to be okay, I need to stop creating this neurosis inside myself. And buying into it is not a way to stop it. If a kid's throwing a tantrum and you get him what he wants and you try to figure out what I need to do, that kid's going to keep throwing tantrums. If you spend your life trying to appease the part of you inside that is creating all these problems, it doesn't get better, it gets worse. So at some point, you realize, I am creating this problem within myself. Life is not creating this problem. Life is just going about its business. Life is just unfolding like it's done for 13.8 billion years. And I just happen to be standing here at this particular point in time, and I'm seeing what life is doing at this particular moment. But your practice now is, at various points, regular points throughout the day, you catch yourself, you become present, and you look to see what's going on inside of you. And I'm telling you, what you're going to see is that you're creating tension. You're going to see that you're creating anxiety. You're going to see that you're creating a storm in there when nothing's happening outside. And one way to tell is, if it is about the past, that's not happening outside. The past is not happening outside. It already did. It's over. So if you're disturbed about anything that has to do with the past, then it's what I'm talking about, isn't it? You're creating disturbance for yourself where there doesn't need to be. Same thing with the future. The future hasn't happened yet. If you are creating worries and anxieties about the future, that's not in front of you. Those are things you're doing. The alternative to doing that is to relax. If I'm relaxing, if I'm using my will to relax, then I didn't put my whole heart and soul into using my will to create a hard time for myself. Somehow the energy finds its way to a deeper place inside of you. It does it by itself. And you start to feel joy. For no reason. I was telling someone in the way we were talking, people think in order to feel happy, you have to know sad. You have to feel these opposites. Otherwise, it's kind of like this neutral place. It's not a neutral place. It's not like there's these energies that are causing disturbance, then you're offsetting them by trying to make things happen, and so you kind of get a balance. No, it has nothing to do with that. By relaxing and not participating in this game that your psyche's doing, you are freeing the energies of creating the disturbance and trying to solve it. Well, what are you going to do with all that juice? All that energy that used to create the psyche and create all that disturbance and noise, plus what you do about all the disturbance and noise. Imagine how much energy